And hello, everybody. Welcome to the No Frills Holiday edition of the In the Huddle, the Bucks County Courier-Times and the Intelligencers look at high school football slate for this Thanksgiving week, 2009. I'm Kevin Cooney from the Courier-Times, along with Dom Cosentino, and we're here at WMPV for our look at the big games of the week, and obviously one big game this weekend. It's Avon Grove. It's North Penn. It's the district semifinals. North Penn coming off a tremendous beating, really, of Neshaminy last week. It was 35-22, wasn't even that close. And Dom, looking at this game against Avon Grove, a team that primarily runs the football, they run the wing tee, what can North Penn really expect out of this bunch?
Well, I think North Penn can expect a team that's going to take it at them any which way they can. I mean, a lot of misdirection, counters, things like that. I had the chance to see Avon Grove a few weeks ago when they beat Quakertown in the first round of the playoffs. And they strictly run the ball with their three running backs. And they've got three backs, Kev, that are all very different. The big fullback is Brendan McLaughlin. He's about 6 foot, 205 pounds. They've got a real athlete in Jordan Harris, who's being recruited by some Division I AA schools. There's been talk that Delaware is possibly close to offering him. And they've also got Brandon Monk, who's kind of their speedster on the outside. They kind of run the three of them in misdirections, with counters, all that, as I said. And the challenge for North Penn will be in making their reads and staying home, to avoid, getting caught on some of those fakes and that. But I think the fact that Avon Grove can't throw the football or really doesn't try to throw the football plays into North Penn's hands. I think that the North Penn will be able to cheat with their safeties up and do whatever they have to do to keep personnel close to the line of scrimmage to prevent not only a big play, but just really Avon Grove from getting too much at once.
Which leads to the question, what is the type of team that could give North Penn trouble? If you don't think Avon Grove, with the speed on speed, can give them that much trouble. If you think that Neshaminy, who appeared to have a size advantage, couldn't give them that much trouble, what kind of team could give them trouble at this point?
I still think it's a team with a size advantage and with a big offensive line that will allow them to control the ball. North Penn's most dangerous when they have the football because they're so quick. They've got so many weapons on offense with Smolinski being able to throw it, Needhammer to run it, Brandon Mercer's back.
Ralphie
Reeves. The way to beat North Penn really is to keep their offense off the field, and I think a ball control type team. And Neshaminy, while they're big up front, North Penn was still able to neutralize that with their speed. There still may be a team out there, Gateway, somebody, that's able to do that. But I just don't think that Avon Grove is the kind of team that's going to control the ball long enough to be able to beat North Penn. Could be wrong.
So you like North Penn in this game?
Absolutely, yes.
I kind of like North Penn, the same reasons. I think it'll be a close game until midway through the second half. North Penn will extend it out. I say North Penn like 35-21, somewhere in there.
I think it's going to be pretty similar to that also. I just don't see Avon Grove being able to stop North Penn's offense.
That's the only playoff game this week. We have the Thanksgiving Day games on tap as well, and there's 4 of them between the Bucksmont region. What is the most interesting one to you, Dom? I know I have an opinion on which one I think is interesting, but I think we both share the same game.
Well, to me this year, I think it's Bristol and Morrisville, Kev. Morrisville hasn't won this game since 1998. They've been a program that had fallen on hard times there for years. I think in 2001, they had to cancel this game because Morrisville didn't have enough players.
Right.
But this season with quarterback Mac Cookson, Ruben Bresnan out of the backfield, and kind of a veteran group. They've got 11 seniors on this team. Morrisville strung together 7 victories, and while I don't think they go into this game as necessarily the favorite, they present an intriguing matchup to a Bristol team that has really dominated them in the last 10 years.
And when you look at it, the other matchups are kind of interesting. Upper Moreland, it depends on Chris Smallwood, if he's back or not, against Hatboro, who's been good defensively. We saw in the second half of the year, had some trouble with the offense, but good defensively. Pembridge Quakertown, always a war, and that will be the game on 1440 on Thursday morning. And, of course, you have Truman and Egan to see how they bounce back from a tough loss in the Catholic League playoffs. Truman has played better as the year has gone along, but I think you're right. It's Morrisville-Bristol, and a lot's on the line here for Morrisville. They're looking for an 8-win season, which is unheard of for them. So it's a real important statement game for the Morrisville program.
And it's a big game in those communities. I mean, I think all of these games are big, but those are 2 little towns that really, I think, identify themselves more so maybe than some of the other ones in Upper Bucks County by the high school football programs and by this game. It's a generational thing. It's the 80th year that they're playing, too. They're going to wear a commemorative patch on the uniforms. There's a big deal being made about that. You can read about that in the paper this week a little bit. But it should be an interesting game, too.
It should be. Now we'll go right into Four Downs, America's favorite Quick Hit segment. We told you this was a no-frills kind of show. No fancy cuts, no video clips. We're just going old school here. And, Dom, the other game in Quad A this weekend is Ridley and Downingtown East. Who do you like?
I like Ridley in this game. I think Ridley made a statement with how they've come out in their first 2 games in these playoffs. Hammering Council Rock South in the first round, and then really sticking it to Unionville last week. Unionville just after having beaten Pennsbury. Ridley, I think, is the other. We're getting set up here for the possibility of North Penn playing Ridley in the district final, and I think it will be a very entertaining game. I like Ridley in this game.
I actually like Downingtown. I think Downingtown, when you look at it, has enough athletes to keep Ridley off kilter a little bit. But they're, look, tradition goes with Ridley in this type of game. But I kind of just like the way Downingtown's playing right now, and I could see them pulling the upset. So that'll be a big game.
They do have some big guys too, and a very good running back, down in Downingtown. So you may not be wrong, but I think you are.
Right.
So
well, there's a shock. Okay.
Kev, Archbishop Wood has the week off this week. They of course won the District 12 title, the city title, for the second week in a row. Does this help or hurt Wood to have the week off till they play the District 1 champion on December 4th?
I think it hurts them because when you look at who they'll have to play Pottsgrove or they'll have to play Interborough. Obviously, both teams are really, really tough. And I think at this time of year that, look, Wood's won 10 in a row. You got to keep playing. It just, everybody talks about how the week gives you a bye, keeps you fresh and everything. I think at this point, when you're Wood, you want to keep playing because, quite honestly, they are not playing real crisp. They're turning the ball over. They're making some defensive mistakes. There's penalties involved. You got to keep playing to get those things out of your system, and they haven't got them out of the system yet. Therefore, I think the bye is really going to hurt them.
You had the opportunity to observe them last year in this spot. They did the same thing and won, beating Bayard Rustin.
Right.
Did it help or hurt them then, do you think?
Well, I think it helped them then, but I think they were a little more together, like fine-tuned and polished at this point. I don't think that Wood is that type of team. I don't think they're polished at this point, and that's a big problem.
And we would be remiss, it's not the only holiday of the week. It's actually Kevin's birthday on the day that we're filming this on Tuesday. So we want to wish a happy 36th birthday to you, Kev.
I'm actually 55. The third down. And we always do a couple goofball questions. Dom, they started playing Christmas carols this week. What is your favorite Christmas carol?
My favorite Christmas carol or Christmas song?
Christmas song.
Christmas song. I'll probably have to be Sinatra's I'll Be Home for Christmas, actually.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
You seem surprised.
I am a little surprised. I don't know why, I just am.
Okay.
I thought you were more of like a Bing Crosby kind of guy.
My last name ends in a vowel, Kev.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay.
So, all right, gang, that's it. No frills and no entertainment value edition of In the Huddle is complete. We will join you next week. We'll preview Wood's this game in the against the District 1 champion in the state playoffs. Probably still have North Penn around, we both think.
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly for the district final. So, boy, we're getting near December, so it's getting pretty interesting here. Thanks for joining us again. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody, and see you next week in the Huddle.